that my grandma was in like a parking lot and I think she was pregnant with my aunt, and she heard someone yell at their child, Colleen, something. She was like yelling at her kid. Mm-hmm. My family's from Kansas City, Kansas. And she was like, that's a pretty name, because she heard some mom yelling that name at their kid. And so she
said it that way, like in a parking lot.
I guess, well, our first and middle names are, me and my aunt are Colleen May. And it was like Colleen May. Like, it sounds, Colleen.
So am I crazy here in thinking that like you've just kept the accent, but for only your name?
What accent? The Southern accent?
Kansas, whatever. Well,
Kansas City accent. Well, I'm not saying that's how people talk in Kansas City. That's how my older relatives talk in Kansas.
Kansas City, Kansas, or Kansas City,
Missouri? Kansas. Uh-huh. They got a drawl, but only like the older ones, not the younger. Not
so. If I'm doing a drawl and I say Colleen,
you'd say Colleen.
You say Colleen. Oh yeah, okay. Like
I don't know.
Jolene?
Yeah, it's like Jolene. My point is, I don't think I know how you got your name.
I think my parents just liked it. It's not from any. Yeah,
they just liked it. No, I don't think you
for sure. We've talked about that.
But with the K, they just with the K?
I think they just liked the name, and I think there was an Erik the Red who was a famous Viking that spelled it with a K, and I don't know. So they had like seen it, and
that's kind of cool. Viking.
It just kind of stuck.
But they saw that there was a Viking with that name, and they liked it.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool.
If Vikings are your thing,
they're not my thing, but it's just like there's something.
Cool haircuts.
That's something. Anyway,
so glad we started this Viking podcast.
You know what else I know about Vikings, love?
They had really good skin.
They have amazing skin. Which brings me to our first sponsor of the day, which is Apostrophe. We've talked about them before, and we're going to talk about them again, guys. Apostrophe is awesome. This episode is sponsored by Apostrophe. It's a prescription skincare company for people that are ready to take their acne seriously. Prescription acne treatment really works, but it's hard to get. You have to take time off of work to see a doctor, sit in line at the pharmacy for your medications, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah,
Not
blah.
anymore. Apostrophe's here to save the day. Apostrophe makes it easy to see a board-certified dermatologist online. You'll get treated immediately, and your medications are delivered straight to your house. You simply fill out Apostrophe's online questionnaire about your skin concerns and medical history. Then just snap a few selfies, and your dermatologist will get back to you with a customized treatment plan tailored just for you. The best part is that Apostrophe offers topical and oral medications, so you can treat your acne from the inside out and the outside in. Apostrophe treats acne, and they can also help you hit other skincare goals like reducing redness, wrinkles, and even dark spots. I love that you don't have to go to the doctor's office and have them analyze your skin, because that's the thing I hated most about going to the dermatologist is I would be so insecure. I'd be going because I'd be insecure. You
told me that you would wear makeup to the dermatologist,
well, I was like,
which is wild.
I know, but I thought like my skin is bad for whatever reason, whether it was acne or spots or whatever. And I'd be like, I need to go to the dermatologist, but you're going to another human and being like, look at the thing that is making me really insecure and tell me about the thing that is making me very insecure. And so even though they were there to help, I was always so insecure and felt like I was being judged by this person.
Yeah, here it's just you just take pictures
it's amazing.
And send it to the thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to look this person in the eye and be demeaned by this dermatologist.
You don't have to call and be like, I need to make an appointment. They're like, what is it concerning? You're like, my horrible skin. I'm really embarrassed about it. Or, it's like you have
great skin now.
Well, thank you very much. Maybe it's because I use Apostrophe, lovey. Okay. I was also super impressed when we first got the product and unboxed it. It was so sleek and so impressive. And it comes with a cute postcard and stickers to personalize the prescription. So it makes it all cute and fun. Like, when was the last time you had a prescription medication that was like cute and fun with a craft?
You love stickers.
Well, it's not stickers, but I do love a craft. So I'm all about it. So anyway, you don't have to go to the pharmacy, and that's the main thing for me. Is you don't have to see anyone, you don't have to go anywhere, you don't have to go to the doctor, you don't have to go to the pharmacist.
Enough said.
It's amazing. So if you guys want to try it out, get $15 off your first visit with a board-certified dermatologist at apostrophe.com/relax and use our code RELAX. The code is only available to our listeners. To get started, just go to apostrophe.com/relax and click begin visit. Then use the code RELAX at sign up, and you'll get $15 off your dermatology visit. That's APOSTROPHE.com/relax and use that code. What is it, Lovey?
I think it's relax.
It is relax. The code is relax. Use it to get your dermatology visit for $15 off. And we thank Apostrophe for sponsoring this podcast. Thanks, Apostrophe.
I was wondering if I was going to get the jingle.
Thanks, Apostrophe.
I think it's higher.
Huh?
Is it higher?
Thanks, Apostrophe, for making my skin so beautiful.
I feel like if I heard that on the radio driving, I would like believe that as like an actual like radio
I know.
commercial jingle.
I feel like
You're
all
welcome.
of our amazing sponsors,
They should pay us more for that.
they should hire us for jingles. I feel like I always make a jingle for these people. I've never heard them say like, you know
My
what?
mind
We're
is
using that
my
jingle.
mind is absolutely exploding. That are we going to become jingle writers? Should we?
I think we should. I'm down.
Next podcast, let's write jingles for things.
I am so down. We were talking about names, and you mentioned it might be fun to talk about Flynn's name and where that came from, because Flynn is our son.
He is.
That we have. He's 2, and we love him, and we named him Flynn, which is a name that everyone always has to like. I love his name. I think it's perfect. It suits him perfectly. But I do feel bad that he has a name that people have to go, what? Because that's what
It
how
is
my
one of
name
those
is.
names, yeah.
My name's like that. So every time I say my name's Colleen, because I pronounce it differently
I
than
hope
most
he's
people.
not like. I hope he didn't mess that up, or he's not insecure about that, or thinks it's strange, or doesn't like it. It's such a hard thing to name
a
human.
person.
It like we had 10 months like to think about what.
9. He came early.
What are we going to name this? I wasn't counting. Were you going through something?
Well, I was trying to explain that my name is the type of name where every time I introduce myself, people go like, what? I'm worried that Flynn has that kind of name, because whenever people go, oh, what's his name? I say Flynn, and they go, oh, Finley? They think his name is
Finn.
Finn.
Is a popular name. It was such a responsibility. We never, we had ideas, but we had never been like, okay, that's it. Even for a couple days after he was born.
Yeah, it took us days.
And the nurses were like, we're not going to let you leave till you fill out this form.
That was like what was keeping us from leaving.
But I'm so glad we picked that. It's
Me too.
It's my middle name. Mm-hmm. It's also my father's middle name. Mm-hmm. So that was like really cool that like.
You need to pass it down.
Yeah. Cause, I think that's great that we were both like, that's okay. Cause like if you knew us, like, we can't decide on like a piece of furniture, like a $99 rug together.
Food,
like,
lunch, like
food,
anything.
Lunch, anything. Like there's no like consensus. We always have like a differing opinion, like for anything. But for a name of a human, we were like, oh yeah, that's great. And it comes from my great grandfather,
so, yeah.
John Flynn, who was an Irish whaling ship captain. So pretty close.
No, I know he wasn't a Viking.
Out of Dublin.
Yeah, so
which is why I proposed to you.
I know Erik has a lot of Irish heritage, and so it was very special when we went to Ireland together. He proposed to me there. Yeah, so that Flynn's name we couldn't decide on, and we were concerned because we were like, Flynn is very much a middle name type or last name, and so we're like, but we loved the name so much. And then when we were in the hospital, when we were in Ireland, we had purchased a little like pin. Like, how do you, like a, what do you?
Yeah, it was the family crest pin.
Yeah. And
they sold it in like, gift shops. They had all like the family crests, and Flynn is the name there. And so they had one. So I'd had the pin. And for some reason, it
was
ended
in my
up,
bag, and we never took it out. That's what happened.
You bought it in Ireland, put it in like a random pocket in your backpack.
Yeah.
Which we ended up bringing to the hospital that morning.
And I hadn't packed it. So I hadn't, because my water broke so early, we hadn't packed hospital bags.
Right.
So I hadn't cleaned it out. So whatever was in there from our Ireland trip when I was first pregnant was what was in there. And so when we were trying to think of a name, Erik found that pin, and it was kind of like a sign to me. I was like,
what's this? And I pulled it out. Yeah. Well, to both of us. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool. But anyway, the other names we were thinking of were not family names, which was really important to me, that like it was a family name. Family is everything to me.
Well, we should say his middle name is your father's name. So he's got pieces of both our family.
Yeah. I love that my name is passed down.
Yeah.
And I love whenever
from a parking lot.
He's stupid.
No, but like in a very sweet way.
But I love that though. I love it.
I love it too. It's like,
and my middle name May has been passed down for many generations. Like my great grandma's middle name was May, and I adored her. Like it's been passed down for a long time.
I know, but like your name did come from someone overhearing it shouted at a child in a parking lot.
Right.
But that to me is like on par with his cool of it being a whaling ship captain from Dublin.
It's pretty cool.
4 generations ago.
But yeah, so Flynn, his middle name is Timothy, which is my dad's name. And the other names we were thinking of, none of them had to do with anything family, which is why.
What were they?
Foster was one for a second.
I like that as a name.
I do too. Forrest, which I love.
They're all Fs. Interesting.
I know, we love the F, man. Foster, Forrest.
Love the F.
For a second, we liked Sailor.
Yeah, Sailor was like an idea.
Yeah, and we liked Sailor because it wasn't a family name, but like since ships and like stuff was like big in your side of the family, we're like trying to make it make sense. We're like, well, Sailor, that way we can tell them it's because in the family there are people.
It's a lot of pressure to name a human, and maybe he won't have that problem that you're worried about as far as people being like, what? Because I feel like this next generation of children, they're all going to have these wild names.
Yeah.
Or more, I mean, strange to us names. Like no one's going to be named. Certainly no one's going to be named Colleen.
You don't know that.
There'll be Colleens, but not Colleens.
Oh, God.
And Erik, they'll be like, what, Erik? Why would any human name their child
That's an old person
Erik?
name.
Like, that's an old person name. Like, my name is Rocket Ship. Like, or...
That's a cool name.
Or there's some, like...
Is your brother's middle name Rocket?
Yeah, that's a whole another story. My younger brother's middle name is Rocket. Because his first name is Christopher, so like Christopher Robin from Winnie the Pooh, but my dad was like away from my mom when he had to fill out the paperwork in the hospital, and he thought it would be hilarious to put Rocket on the paperwork and not Robin. He's funny. He's a funny guy.
So they were going to do Christopher Robin?
The ultimate dad joke, I guess.
Where they were going to do Christopher Robin?
Yeah, that's what they had talked about, but then he just pulled the trigger on Rocket.
Was your mom pissed?
No, I think she thought it was hilarious. Like,
I knew that he did it as a joke. They really are. I knew that he had done that as a joke, but I didn't know that they had already decided on Christopher
Robin.
This
and then call me and be like,
that's not true.
Happened.
They're gonna be like, Rocket's a family name for 18 generations.
No, but that's on his driver's license.
And he's now Uncle Rocket.
He's Uncle Rocket. Yeah. Was there anything when you were a kid you were like, oh, I wish my name was?
When I was a kid, I loved my name. I loved that it was different. I loved that I didn't know any other kids with my name. What I didn't like was my last name. I thought my last name was ugly. And I did not want to. I wanted to change my name legally to Colleen May because I thought that was a prettier, like, if I ever got famous.
You thought about having a stage name?
Like, yeah, if I ever became an actress.
Did you write it out on, like, notebooks?
Colleen
in the
May.
back of journals?
Mm-hmm. And Colleen had, the C was a butterfly. So, like, it was one of the wings. And so, like, of a butterfly. And yeah, I wanted to be Colleen May because I thought Ballinger was not a good like stage name. You know, it wasn't pretty.
Did people make fun of that name when you were a kid? Like, did they find a way to turn the ball in Ballinger into some sort of?
Well, kids will find it with any name. It was Colleeny Weenie.
Colleeny Weenie, okay.
Colleeny Weenie and Ballinger or Ballicker, you know.
Yeah.
Ballsinger, you know.
Ballicker was where I
Ballicker. You were a bully.
No, I wasn't. It's right there. It's like, it's teed up for you right there.
So that was the thing. But it's interesting. I got older and, you know, my family, like I said, is everything to me. I was best friends with my cousins growing up. I went to both sets of grandparents, like every other day I was with them. I was very close to my grandparents, my aunts and my uncles. Like we were so close. And then, as I got older and became an adult, I was like, oh, I love being a Ballinger because it's my family. And I don't want to ever let go of that. Yeah. Like it was so important to me that my last name be Ballinger.
I thought about being Erik Flynn as like a...
Really?
As like a stage name. And in fact, I got advice from I had a meeting with an agent. One of my first meetings with an agent, had seen that was my middle name and was like trying to talk me into changing or having a stage name that was just Erik Flynn.
Well, I like Erik Flynn, but I think Erik Stocklin is a great name. I love the last name Stocklin.
I don't think it's like a.
Oh, I love it. I think Stocklin is such a solid last name. Like if I
love it now. Yeah, I love it.
If
now,
I didn't if I like wasn't into like my family and like was not all about like Ballinger, I would have been so stoked to have the last name Stocklin because I think it's so solid. That's why I was like so excited for Flynn to have the last name Stocklin because I think it's such a good last name. I love it.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's
weird
so
when
good.
it's like your name. You're like, oh, it's you know.
Oh, I love the last name Stocklin.
Yeah,
it's
I
amazing
love it too.
And your family's great too. So it's a good heritage. Good genes.
Cool suit pants.
Why are you wearing a suit?
I don't know.
Okay. Well, speaking of cool clothes, I'm excited about this next sponsor.
You know what's funny?
What?
The shirt. Stitch Fix.
The shirt's from Stitch Fix?
Yeah, from my stylist.
Oh my gosh. So Erik has a personal stylist, guys, and you can too.